click. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fourth and Loud. I'm Action Jackson. That's Lispy Lou, and we're talking everything NFL, Bears, and everything the league does to get you mad. Sorry, just wanted to go out with a little
Starting
something.
spicy this week.
I am. Hey, by the way, also like and subscribe to the channel Fourth and Loud. Subscribe as well if you want more content from us. Follow us on. You can follow Lispy Lou down below at the channel on YouTube, Twitch. Follow him on Twitch and Spotify. I'll post my comments in my handles in my comments section right below this video. So follow us. Let's get loud. All right, a little bit to talk about Wild Card Weekend. Lots of games being played. What you think?
Lot. They call it Super Wild Card Weekend for a reason, and it lived up to the hype. I'll tell you that much.
It sure did. A couple of games. We'll recap all the games as we go forward, but I just wanted to talk really quick. I am so ecstatic about the Bears, and I know we'll talk about them later, but I am Bears pumped. I'm wearing the new Bears Fourth and Loud shirt, you know? I'm wearing that shirt. Right, exactly.
Represent.
Lou making these shirts for us. I mean, really appreciate that, Lou. Thanks for
Hey, absolutely, man. Got to do it right.
All right, let's go through these games, man. So let's talk about the first game up. It's Rams and Carolina. Rams beating the Panthers 34-31. Stafford going 24-42, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Another adding to those MVP stats right there. Nakua getting 10 receptions, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Devontae Adams, 5 catches, 72 yards, playing an integral part in that receiving. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'll tell you one, offense, like, no answer for Puka Nakua. You mentioned that 100-plus receiving yards. He also had some rushing yards and a rush touchdown in that game as well. Like, Kyren Williams was helping out in the passing game. They were clicking on all cylinders, but, I mean, Panthers still had a chance at that end of the game and, just couldn't get it done. The turnovers caught up to Carolina.
Yeah, Young going 21-40, 264 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jalen Coker actually showing off his stats too. 9 receptions, 134 yards, and 1 touchdown. I mean,
what a phenomenal outing by him. I mean.
And Hubbard actually getting 2 rushing touchdowns. He only got 46 yards, but still 2 touchdowns.
That ground game was the backbone and helped Carolina keep that game alive even late, even on that last possession with about, I believe there was like 18, 20 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
They had to get down there and they had to kick the field goal and have a potential at tie in that game. But yeah, just throw. You're put in that position, 4 straight incompletions, and wasn't able to get it done at the end of the day. But stayed a lot more competitive than a lot of people thought.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I'm surprised Carolina hung in like they did. I didn't think they were going to do that.
Young had an impressive game.
Gives me hope in this week's matchup.
That was his playoff debut. So I mean, I liked what I saw there, and I mean, hopefully there's hope in the future for them, and they could start getting things clicking here in the offseason.
Maybe there's some hope for the Bears this weekend too. If Carolina can keep up with the Rams, I think the Bears can too.
Oh, hey,
we'll get into that a little bit deeper later, but
yeah. Listen, that defense is questionable for the Rams. I mean. That secondary seems like it'd be exposed, and I mean, Young definitely did that last Saturday, and really, has proven what a lot of other teams have proven. Like, this defense could be got into, but it's a matter of whether you can stop that explosive offense and that MVP caliber quarterback they got standing in the backfield there.
Yeah. Also, another great game again between our Bears and the Packers. The third meeting this year. What a game that was, man. I mean, being down 21-3 at halftime and then outscoring them and finishing up the game and winning 31-27 was just outstanding, Lou. I mean, some of the stats we're looking at is Iceman himself threw for 24-48 for 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, although he did have 2 interceptions. I mean, I really
over 190 yards in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that throw that is going over social media with the Jordan Hangman.
Yeah, 4th and 9.
Guy,
Odunze to the sideline, and he grabs it and keeps that drive going. I mean, that was huge.
Yeah, Swift 1 rushing touchdown. Colston Loveland He's getting better every single game. This man had 8 receptions, 137 yards, no touchdown, but 15 targets.
He,
That's
he's
wide receiver
he
stats
he
right
knows
there.
how to get open.
Yeah.
He has proven throughout this season he knows how to get open, and he's becoming more and more of a favorite target of Caleb Williams over the last couple weeks. I think it continues against the secondary this week, but I think our offense, especially in the passing game, could really have a field day.
And I'm not
But
going to count out the Packers because the Packers played a pretty darn good game.
four touchdowns for
Yeah,
Jordan Love.
not only that, but he had 323 yards,
Yeah.
24-46, 4 touchdowns. Romeo Dobbs, lit us up. He literally, what did he have?
Well,
he had 8 receptions, 124 yards, and 1
As he-
touchdown. I know he wears the Guardian helmet,
As,
but
and-
he is he's
hey,
good too.
Hey, you can't miss him on the field when he's wearing that, and Jordan Love sure did it.
No.
And that's the truth. And you know what? Also that side of the ball, I'm gonna clap my hands. Matthew Golden, first round pick for Green Bay, came out of Texas Longhorns. That's my college team, and finally got his first touchdown
Yeah.
there. And I'm gonna touch back to that 21-3, and just the amount of pass yards and overall offense the Bears defense gave up that game. At first half, defense. Defensively, I'm speaking. First half defense, the second half defense was day and night. That
Yeah, I don't know
defense,
what was said during halftime.
that
I
defense
don't know what
came out
DA
in the
said.
second half, and they were not playing.
I don't know what
And-
DA said
and-
at halftime, Lou, but he must have said something
Oh,
that
so-
lit that team up. Or Ben Johnson must have said something like, "Are you ready to go home? Because we can go home now.
Oh,
we don't even have to go out on the field."
We probably said some things we're not going to say here today.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will say
Yeah.
for certain.
Yeah, definitely.
For
Also,
certain. And listen, one note I will say about that game, and I'll just say every time we played the Packers, I think I'm going to have to find a cardiologist.
I will tell you that
So,
I
any
have
good
lowered
ones,
my
send me those numbers.
cholesterol in what I eat just because my blood pressure skyrockets every day that the Bears are on. My blood pressure's up the roof. I am angry for the first 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter shows up, and these guys just look like a different team.
Oh,
after
absolutely.
halftime. So.
Offensively and defensively, things just click different ways.
Yeah, I really like that. Buffalo and Jacksonville next on board. Buffalo hanging on to win 27-24. Jacksonville ending their playoff run, obviously. Allen, again, Superman Allen, as I like to call him, 28-35, 273 yards, 1 touchdown, 33 rushing yards, 2 tutties on the run, dude.
Yeah,
again, putting on his cape and taking them to the promised land.
That's what we said last week. We said, hey, how can Buffalo get past Jacksonville in Jacksonville? We said Josh Allen is going to have to put on that Superman cape and carry that team. And, he had to do it to every bit until that clock hit zeros in the fourth quarter because the Jags weren't going anywhere. And, tip ball on the final drive for Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence gets an interception. That seals the game. Jacksonville still had a chance at the end, but, that defense was able to step up for him there.
Yeah, Parker Washington getting 7 receptions, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville going 18-30, only 207 yards, 3 tutties, but 2 interceptions. I feel really bad for Liam Cohen. I really like him. I think he's a good coach. I wish that Jacksonville didn't end losing to Buffalo like that because I feel like they could have advanced a little bit farther in the play.
Yeah, and you know what? Here I'm going to actually disagree with you because for how many years?
About time.
For how many years have we been talking in the AFC? These top tier quarterbacks. You got your Mahomes, you got your Allen, you got your Lamar Jackson, and you got your Joe Burrow. Those are the quarterbacks you had to go through, and those were who can beat who. And Josh Allen. This year, no Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar. And, he pulled out a close one there, but, he was able to put that cape on like he had to, and he took care of business. There was a reason they were favored in that game, and, Jacksonville hung tough and fought till the end. And, just didn't have enough in the tank to win it all. But yeah, I will. Liam Cohen, great turnaround with Trevor Lawrence. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
I mean, coming into this year, I will tell you, I was questioning how much longer Trevor Lawrence was going to be in Jacksonville with the coaching rotation they had down there,
Yeah.
and the lack of success he was having. But I will say, Liam Cohen seems to unlocked him a bit again, and he looked good.
Did you watch a little bit
Got
of
to
the?
has to clean up the turnovers, obviously.
Oh, for
but,
sure, for sure. Did you watch any of the San Fran Philly game?
Oh, of course, who didn't?
I mean, I know I did. I wasn't with you when the game was played, so that's why I'm asking. But I mean, what did you think about that game? Purdy only going 18 to 31, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 24 yards rushing, running with the ball. Not
I'll
really.
I'll say this was I did watch this. This was a very plain game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams had a lot of different opportunities that they just went stale on the drives.
Yep.
Because what I would look at is silly play calling. And Philly. I mean, Barkley with over 100 yards on the ground even, and that rushing attack working for Philly. Jalen Hurts still can't get it done, and I mean, there was fire in
Yeah,
there
Dallas Goddard,
for,
the only
yeah,
the only receiving touchdown
yeah,
for Philadelphia.
exactly.
I mean, did you see like the issues on the sideline where AJ Brown got into it with Sirianni?
Oh, yeah, and
Like I just think there's bad blood in the
that
locker room
seemed
currently
like
for Philadelphia,
like
and that's why they're not functioning right.
yeah, that at Sunday a lot of people were showing
I
that
mean, you heard Saquon
across
after the
media.
game. You heard Saquon
Oh,
after the game talking about something needs to change.
yeah,
Whether it's in the in the locker room, something needs to change, and maybe that's AJ Brown leaving.
yeah. I think those conversations can be brought up this off season.
Yeah.
But I mean, as much as you think about that, you're coming off a Super Bowl last year. You made it to you lost in the wild card round this year. Still won your
Yeah.
division. I mean, maybe you could find common ground here with AJ Brown. I don't think the answer for Philly's offense is getting rid of AJ Brown, because I feel like if you get rid of him, you're just going to have to replace him. I don't think Devontae Smith's ready to be a number one receiver yet. And I mean, yeah, you got your offensive line. You're always going to have Saquon Barkley getting his. And I mean, he started to get on a roll near the end of the season, and so did AJ Brown. But just hit the sputters. Got
Yeah.
flat tires in that offense sometimes, and that's why I called that game so plain. Yeah, they did a lot more scoring in the second half, but even at that, like you could tell Philly didn't have much left in the tank there.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. The next game, Chargers versus Patriots. Patriots beating the Chargers 16-3, the lowest scoring game throughout Wild Card
Yeah.
weekend. Herbert getting sacked 6 times, 19 to 31, 159 yards. Led the team in rushing with 10 carries, 57 yards rushing. And then Drake May, 5 sacks, sacked 5 times, 17 to 29, 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Hunter Henry getting that lone touchdown, 3 receptions, 64 yards for him. I mean, Drake May also getting some rushing yards, 10 carries, 66 yards. Low scoring game.
That was a 16-3 game. I'll give some credit here to the Chargers defense for
Yeah.
keeping it that low, but I mean, Justin Herbert, the fumbles again.
Well, his offensive line just can't protect
And
him.
yeah, I mean, when you lose both your tackles,
Yeah.
and
you're
your
playing with a
offensive-
broken hand.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and I mean, end of the day, it's the playoffs.
Definitely.
You got to have next man mentality, next
Agreed.
man up mentality, and someone's got to step up there. But I mean,
Agreed, totally.
obviously they didn't have the depth there. Offensive line got tore up. Other side of that, like I mean, 16-3, I felt like New England could have put up 30, 40 points in this game if it wasn't for Drake May losing the ball a couple times, the fumbles and that interception too. I mean,
those fumbles really played into
so
Chargers.
he definitely needs to clean that up going into next week, and I mean, they should be fine, but I mean, we'll see. Drake May, outside the turnovers, look pretty good in his NFL debut.
definitely. And then last
Playoff
but not least
debut.
was that Monday night game. Houston Texans versus the Steelers. Obviously, Houston winning, blowing them out the water, 30-6. Aaron Rodgers ending his career on that interception, also going 17-33, only 146 yards, no touchdown, one interception. He tried to tackle that guy during that interception and missed. Clearly, DK Metcalf coming back, only two receptions, 42 yards. Jalen Warren, 12 carries, 43 yards, no touchdown either. I mean, they just couldn't get anything started in Pittsburgh. And then you have Houston on the other side. You have CJ, 17 of 32, 250 yards, one touchdown, one interception, 3 sacks. You've got Jaquavius Marks, 19 carries, over 112 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. And then Christian Kirk.
What a game he had.
Eight receptions, 144 yards on 8 receptions and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he had himself a great game. First thing, Houston, hate to see you guys lose Nico Collins to that concussion in that game.
Yeah.
Other part of that 30-6, I feel like can be deceptive because there was a point in the fourth quarter of that game where I was, back in my mind thinking, hey, maybe Aaron Rodgers still has a little bit of that magic in his pocket. He's got DK out there with you. Can you do something late? And, I mean, Houston's defense proved why they're a top defense in the league. Came at them, and, I mean, Houston won this big despite, C.J. Stroud, 5 fumbles. He loses 3 of them. Just sloppy quarterback play. It wasn't making great decisions in the pocket, or
but
even
the Steelers
when
just
he had
couldn't capitalize.
Yeah,
on
they
that.
could not
They
capitalize
couldn't
on
capitalize
anything. And I mean,
they couldn't get anything going. It was
Houston.
a horrible way to end your career if this is Aaron Rodgers' last year.
I don't.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't think.
But
I don't think he'll feel good about going out on that.
that
I won't.
interception,
I don't feel like he'll come sign with the team, be day one starter this year. But
maybe he plays. We'll see.
injuries happen during the season. I could see him getting out of a broadcast booth and turning around and possibly coming and helping a team in playoff contention mid-season next year or something of that nature. So, but congrats to Houston on getting past them and advancing to the next round.
Yeah, and then you go to sleep after that game, right? You go to sleep after that game. We wake up Tuesday morning, and then we're hearing at like noon, I'm watching TV and social media, and then Tomlin just stepped down after 19 seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, I was not expecting that.
I was shocked. I was shocked. You have 3 teams in the AFC North who fired their head coaches, and the one who didn't, Cincinnati and Zach Taylor, I thought he should have been the first to go.
I would have thought he would have stayed down the gym.
But
Jim left Baltimore.
Cincinnati doesn't like to have to owe coaches money when they're on contract, so they'll never fire anyone. They'll let him sit his contract out, never give him an extension. But
obviously Tomlin being employed for them for over 19 seasons, he's not going to go sign with a team and do his team unjust. He's stepping down. Most likely, what I think will happen is that he will end up joining media, maybe ESPN, maybe Fox. I don't know where he'll go, what broadcast station he'll go in, or he'll join some media team and he will broadcast for the rest of the year, because what he doesn't want to do is go to another team and force the Steelers to give up 2 draft picks.
Let me pause you there, because the thing about him stepping down from the Steelers is, even if he's in the position to do exactly what Sean Payton did. Sean Payton stepped down as head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Mm-hmm. When he stepped down, the Saints still had his contract rights because the contract hadn't expired yet. Yeah. Same thing with Tomlin. And then Sean Payton went and did
ESPN
he went and did broadcasting and color commentating for a year, and then Denver Broncos trade a first and second rounder to get him out of New Orleans. That I could see the same thing happen with Tomlin. I mean, also I could see Tomlin. I think Tomlin would be a great media figure.
I think he's
especially within sports, whether he ended up calling games or being on a pregame or
I was just really surprised that he left this year, maybe I would have thought he would have stayed 1 year after Harbaugh left Baltimore, and maybe he would have thought he would have given his team one more run with a chance now that Jim's out of his division. But that didn't happen, and I'm all right with that. But speaking about Jim, talk about Jim. Jim went to the Giants and signed a deal with the Giants. He is now head coaching of the Giants with Jackson Dart quarterbacking. You got Scattaboo as the running
Yeah,
back.
he's
Got a
got.
very young team, very good potential with the Giants and Harbaugh. What do you think about the move?
I mean, I believe it's still yet to be finalized, but it's all but written in stone. I don't mind the fit. I don't. I think people are very much hyping up the hire.
Yeah.
Like the hire's good. It is going. Jim Harbaugh being the head coach of the New York Giants is going to make the New York Giants a better football team.
Yeah.
But the New York Giants as a whole, as a football team, still need some help in different areas.
Yeah, and Jim
They
Harbaugh.
they need to beef up that offensive line a bit. That defensive line is fine, but the back seven, you could use some work there, here and there. And I mean, it's also, you got a new coach, you got a young quarterback. You're going to have to, get him to learn a new playbook in his second year. I mean, we dealt with this with Caleb, but I feel like the Giants have too many holes elsewhere. I could see him being competitive and winning a lot of games next year.
Sure.
I don't see them as like a division contender though, just because you got Harbaugh. And granted, we still have a whole offseason to go, so
in the next year.
I may eat my words.
That's unheard of, really, to see a team flip like that on the first year. I really think, though, that part of the reason I want to see what the actual deal is once it's finalized and what that deal contains was what he was asking for prior. I mean, he was asking for that $20 million, that $10 million for the coaching staff, and then having full rights to make decisions for the team to go out and get everyone that they need, that he feels that they need. And maybe that's the right call to bring him to New York, because obviously New York just hasn't been hitting it.
Look at the market.
Exactly.
Major football market, and guess what? $20 million he got. The details of the deal came out being a 5-year, $100 million deal, so you got exactly what he wanted from New York.
Yep, definitely. Let's talk about next week's divisional matchups going on.
We got some good ones.
Couple of games
We got
going
some
on.
really good ones coming up.
Buffalo at Denver. Who do you like and why?
Oh, I mean, dogfight one, especially being in Denver. I mean, I'm going to sound like a record on repeat here saying, I think Josh Allen and those Buffalo Bills can win that game. But Josh Allen's going to have to put that tape on. And I think what that game really comes down to is, Bo Nix quarterback play. I mean, I know Bo Nix has proven he can come back from a deficit and everything. And, the Buffalo Bills offense, when they get up tempo and they get momentum, they can score fast. But that Denver defense, I mean, they're going to have something else to say about that. I could see that being a pretty low-scoring game, but I'm going to give the edge to Buffalo at the end of the day. I think Josh Allen will be able to get it done.
After Buffalo's performance last week, I want to agree with you on that. I definitely think that Josh Allen needs to put his Superman cape on. He will do it. I can foresee some rushing touchdowns going into it. I can see some passing. I can't really see the passing yards going into like a 300-yard passing game or anything like that. But I can definitely see him rushing a couple of touchdowns, and I think that the way to do it is through that way on the defense of Denver. And Bo Nix hasn't proven to myself that he is as good as Josh Allen. Yes, I think he's having a good season. I think he is a good quarterback. I want to see.
Will you tell me whoever put Bo Nix on the same level as Josh Allen? In your world, I'm sorry. I have never heard Bo Nix put on the same level as Josh Allen. So what you said, you're right. Don't think it. That Bo Nix is not on the same level as Josh Allen. Yeah. I don't care what world you live in. And I mean, I think that's going to come down to a nice coaching battle as well. And I think clock management's really going to come down to it at the end of the game. But I close one at the end of the day. And I mean, you're with exactly what you said though, like with the Bills' performance last week. Like when we're talking about, them versus the Jags and them squeaking that one past
Yeah.
the Jags. I mean,
Mhm.
I almost contradict myself. Like you're not going to be able to, it's not going to be as easy to get that last touchdown you need to retake the lead in the last 2 minutes against that Denver team. So I mean, that's where I still balance. Like, what Bo Nix are we going to get? And if it's the good one, I mean, there's no in the back of my head. If we get the good Bo Nix, there's no reason Denver
So
shouldn't win.
you're
this
taking
game.
Buffalo?
No, I'm taking Denver. I'm flipping. Everything you just said, I'm flipping. I'm going Denver now.
All right, so I guess I'm taking Buffalo.
Okay.
And Liz
Okay.
is taking
You see,
Denver.
listen. I said what I said, and then I heard what you said, and then I thought about what you said, and I realized I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm going against Denver
I
here.
don't know what was said, but I heard what might have been said. Now you're sounding like trust me.
Oh, stop it. We're not going back to that Canadian football coach. I can't live there again.
All right, next game, San Francisco at Seattle in the other NFC divisional game. Who do you like and why?
This game, I mean, week 18.
Yep.
Had a real dogfight in that 13-3 matchup where, everyone was so explosive. So, I mean, they split during the regular season. This is an NFC West matchup in the playoffs. Here, I mean, I'm just going to take the home team.
Yeah.
Based off of, Seattle here playing at home of the 12th man. That defense is top 3 defense, in my opinion, across the NFL this year. And, I mean, Sam Darnold has the opportunity to redeem himself from what happened with the Vikings last year. Everyone said, oh, wait for the real Sam Darnold to show up when the big lights are on in the playoff moment. And, week 18 last year in the wild card round, he played like the Sam Darnold of past. I think he's put that in the past. I think Seattle gets it done. And, I mean, Purdy's turnovers just to get where he's at, I think those catch up to him this week with defense who definitely loves to take advantage of those turnovers and get points off those turnovers. So
Key to San Fran for me.
I like Seattle in that game, but I think we're going to have another close one.
Okay, so you're taking Seattle.
Yeah, I like Seattle.
All right, so I'm going to take Seattle, but I'm on that borderline pick. I really like Seattle's defense. I like them throughout the year. I had them on my fantasy team.
Did well this year if you had them.
Right, exactly. But
especially the second half of the season.
I think if San Francisco wants to even have a fighting chance, it really just goes under CMC again. CMC has not performed the last 2 weeks, and they have just barely made it. And if you're producing last week against Philadelphia, and I think he ran for under 50 yards. Possibly, I think maybe I was right.
Yeah, he was right.
Under
he was under 50 yards, but where I'm gonna pause you because San Francisco has struggled with the run game, especially here late in the season. So I mean, McCaffrey hasn't been stacking up his yards in the run game a lot, not against a lot of teams. Yeah. He's been more productive in the pass game. I mean, him rushing under 50 yards, he still almost hit 100 all-purpose yards off 6 receptions and 66 yards.
He did hit
last week. So I mean,
all-purpose yards over 100.
But you got to get someone else involved. Last week for San Fran, it was DeMarcus Robinson. Is he more involved this week? Is Ricky Pearsall coming back? I mean, where there's stuff leading up to this game that
we know Kittle is not.
He's done for the season, unfortunately.
Yeah, on the IR.
Hope he has a speedy recovery and gets back into game shape before the start of next season.
Definitely. All right, and next is that Houston-New England game on Sunday. The first game on Sunday is Houston at New England. Top defense versus my favorite. The New England Patriots are my favorite team over there on that AFC side because I like Vrabel and I like Drake May and I'm just interested.
And I only like 50% of what you just said.
Yeah, well,
Not a huge Vrabel fan, okay? But Drake May, I like.
no.
He's gonna get. I think he's gonna get nicked in the MVP between him and Stafford. I think he does deserve it this year. With what he did for that New England team this year. But I think if we're just talking overall stats, you gotta lean towards Stafford. But we're gonna lean a little more into this game, and I kind of spoil a little something about this. I mean, big hit for Houston, and I mean C.J. Stroud had those 5 fumbles last week and lost a couple of them, and you lose Nico Collins. Nico Collins has officially been ruled out for tomorrow's or the game this weekend, and it's I think that's going to be a big hit for him. He has shown he can find other receivers, but I mean the lack of run game for Houston. I mean they proved that they took care of business against Pittsburgh, but I think they're facing a much different animal in New England this week. And if CJ has that many mistakes again this week, New England's a team who I feel like will capitalize and eventually find a little bend or a break in that defense if, Houston's defense is out there all game because they struggle to get stuff going on offense.
Sure. And that last game of the week. Or,
Well, here, I didn't make my pick.
oh,
Who do you like?
well, I'm going to take Houston. I think their defense.
You're
going
going to
to
take Houston?
With Nico Collins being out now. I don't think Drake May is going to be able to get through Houston's defense with.
Okay, well, Nico Collins is on Houston, just so you know.
Yeah, thank you.
But I like Christian Gonzalez coming back for that New England defense, too. I mean, I think just New England in a better prime position in this game to win this game and punch their ticket to the AFC Championship game next week.
Gotcha. All right, and that last game on Sunday.
But not least.
Our beloved Bears versus the Rams. And, I've been watching national media and watching social media, and there's a lot of people just talking about how the Rams are going to put up 50 coming to Chicago at 0-degree weather out on the field and put up 50.
I'll tell you.
300 yards.
I'll tell you one thing right
Alex
now.
Smith from 49ers saying that the Rams themselves are going to put up 50. And Alex, if you're watching, you're lying.
One thing I'll tell you right now, everything they're saying, I don't give a hoot. Because there was national media heads within the sports industry who said the Bears were going to get beat handily this past weekend, and that didn't happen. So let the doubters keep doubting. We come out and grind. They do this every week. I mean, this game could go a lot of different ways in my head, and I mean, come on, the pettiness of coaches in the league.
Yeah,
Matt LaFleur needs to publicly come out and let it be known that he's giving Sean McVay pointers.
Yeah, and Ben Johnson comes out right after that. Ben Johnson comes right out after that. That's common practice.
Yeah, it's common practice.
So,
and that's what I'm saying. It is a common practice, but you don't hear about it.
No, you don't hear about it
because of what was said and
then you
everything
hear Sean
like
McVay's
that. This is a public one that
Yeah.
they actually decided to talk about more. But I mean, let's just really talk about the matchups in this game, okay? You got MVP caliber quarterback Matthew Stafford. I mean, he's got to come in and play in the cold. Temperatures the way they're looking to be somewhere between 0 degrees and 5 degrees real feel at kickoff and kind of maintain there through most of the game with the possibility of snow flurries. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm not gonna, weigh everything based off weather factor. I'm hoping to see the defense flying out there. CJ DJ's coming back this week. He looks like he's gonna play this week. Kyler Gordon, second week back. Hopefully he's up to full speed.
Yep.
And I mean, he got beat a couple of our guys got beat a couple times last week.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. So I mean, hopefully that secondary is meshing a little more because they're going to be in for a tall task against Stafford and Puka and Devontae and Higbee and Parkinson on that side of the ball. They got a lot of weapons, and you still got to watch out for Blake Corum backing up Kyron Williams over on that side of the ball. But as much as I'm saying that about how the Rams could try to expose the Bears defense. Right game plan, he could stop anything, and we could flip the script the complete other way because
Ben Johnson is the one to do that too.
yeah, and listen, I just named all the weapons over there. Let's flip to the Bears. I mean, we got a guy who has been probably the best quarterback in the fourth quarter this year, if not top five. You got
Tight end that I'm going to be trying to get in the first round of the playoffs in fantasy football.
You got DJ Moore. You got Luther Burden. You got Cole Kmet. You got Colston Loveland. And then you got Swift and Monungai standing behind you with also, I mean, what I believe to be one of the top offensive lines in the NFL this year. I mean, they really have meshed and come together and played well as a unit for quite some time leading up to this point. And, I mean, there is going to be a little bit of a pass rush that the Rams could send. But, I mean, teams have still been able to run all over them. Teams have still been able to put yards up through the air. And, I mean, our offense has proven that it can be explosive when it needs to be explosive. So, I mean, my pick here, obviously, bear down. You know who I'm going with. But I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into almost an instant replay of the San Fran game to where it's a 42-38 game, except the Bears come out on top.
Yeah, definitely. So that's next week's games. We'll talk more on episode 5 next week about the recap of all these games. So let's get right into it with Lou's hot takes. Lou, what's making you hot this week?
Hey, for a first thing, I'll tell you one thing that's hot. It's the Indiana Hoosiers! Oh, man, what a whomping they put on Oregon last Friday, 56-22. Dante Moore, 285, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. He lost 2 fumbles. Didn't look great in that game at all.
He also removed himself from the draft.
yeah. Wait, we'll get. I'll get into that here in a second. And I mean, Fernando Mendoza throws for 175 or 177, 5 touchdowns, and Kalon Black, running back, 2 rushing TDs on top of that, had a defensive touchdown. Just looked pure dominant out the gate. Start the game with a pick 6.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
On defense, I mean, wow.
That pick 6 started it off
out the gate. Oregon looked like they were going to try to stay in it. They tied it 7-7. Indiana went up 14-7, and they never looked back. Yeah. They never looked back. Kurt Cignetti, what a job he is doing with the Indiana Hoosiers right now.
Maker bringing in something like that.
2 years. 2 years, 2 winning seasons.
100-year franchise football.
First 2 years having a winning record in that football organization. And, I mean, coming off of talking about that IU dominance and that performance against Oregon, I mean, now we're set up. We got the University of Miami playing IU at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida this Monday. What do you think is going to happen in that game?
I don't know. I really think that the Hoosiers are going to do it again. There's a couple of things, though, that I do want to call out. Mendoza is going back to play in Miami, where Indiana Hoosier fans travel very well. They will pack the stadium.
I'll pause you there.
Interesting. He grew up in Miami.
Yep. He's
in the
going
same
back
town,
home. Going back home.
So he is going back home. And I really wonder if any butterflies show up. Now, if he goes back to being this, if he, who's to say he doesn't throw for another 5 touchdowns? My really thing is that I honestly think Indiana's going to win because I think Indiana's the superior team over Miami. I think they outlast their endurance, outlast them, and they just tire Miami out.
Okay, well, and here's what I'll give you. And I heard the skepticism in your voice when you were talking about Indiana. And I mean, as Bears fans, those Bears fans who are listening, you know the heartbreak we feel, and we keep our hopes low.
That's Northwest Indiana,
when they come up here, you're like, oh, that's awesome. Let's get excited. But you don't expect anything because the heartbreak has just been consistent. But this Indiana Hoosiers team, I'm also on board with IU. I think Kurt Signetti could coach these kids to win this game. But I will not take away anything from that Miami defense, especially that front four. Bain's going to be drafted this year, and he is a menace when it comes to getting in the backfield. So that IU offensive line is going to be up for a big test this week. And also, Carson Beck continues to prove that he still has another trick up his sleeve. Every time I doubted him, he has proved me wrong. So they say don't bet against him, but I still like IU maybe double digits in this game. But if it is, it would be by 10.
Okay.
And we're going to start this next segment, Betapalooza, with an apology to all you guys this year. We are just not hitting. I got one more for you this week before it gets to slim pickings come next week. We're going to take the lines and the spreads on the games. We're taking the Bills straight up. We're taking San Fran +7, even though I still think Seattle's going to win that game. I more feel like field goal or, 4-point lead come up short of the touchdown at the end. Then we're going New England straight up, and we're taking the Bears straight up. $10 gets you 155. You could lock that in.
Or lock that up.
Yeah, whichever you choose. Hey, listen, guys, I've been losing money with you this year.
It's up to you.
I'm not any happier with myself. I make all these same bets every week. So
you heard that here, folks. Lispy Lou is losing right with you.
Yeah, we're losing together, guys. But hey, hopefully this week we turn it around, get it right back on track, and pick up our losses on the year.
Brings us to our last and final segment.
One more thing we're going to talk about here on my hot takes. Yeah, he's trying to jump the gun on us, guys. So one more thing I want to get into. Hey, we talked about Harbaugh to the Giants, and that deal's all but finalized. I still have two really big openings of teams, Baltimore and Atlanta. Both rosters are very talented, and man, I know everyone was waiting for the Harbaugh domino to fall. And, everyone's thinking LaFleur's going to get traded or, and now there's issues with that deal. But I'm looking at Baltimore, Atlanta. I think they need to jump on someone. Someone I'd be a big fan for Baltimore. That defense is falling off, but you still got all the names. I like a Brian Flores there. Put a nice staff together. They get a nice OC in there, maybe a Cliff, maybe a Mike McDaniel. Build a staff around them, and Atlanta side, Bijan Robinson, Michael Penix Jr., we got some questions about that. But guess what? That's the reason I like this coach coming in there. Kevin Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year. They call him the quarterback whisperer. If he can't turn Penix around, I don't think anyone can. And, hey, you still got Kirk Cousins there to lean on.
I wonder if Atlanta even picks the head coach until after they find a general manager. I know that they're interviewing people, but
you drag your feet too long in the NFL, you miss out. We all know that. We've seen it happen in the past.
I understand that. Matt Ryan taking a big role with the front office, obviously with the Atlanta Falcons, to try to help them in that process, as well as other people helping them in that role, in their roles. You see a lot of outside sources. Troy Aikman helping them. You see a lot of outside sources, but Matt Ryan being hired for the Atlanta front office.
Well, I feel like I feel like he was brought in to assist with both the GM and the head coach search,
and they don't have either.
And help guide the owner in the direction that team needs to go.
Do you think head coach should be hired first and then GM, or do you like GM and then
I
head coach?
prefer GM because I like a GM to be hired and let him find the coach. Because when it comes down to it, even if he only drafts halfway decent, it normally comes down to, and this has happened in Chicago history before, to where the GM got his head coaching hiring privileges taken away because of how many bad coaches he hired.
Picked the wrong guy.
So, a GM, first round, I think you let him get the head coach. although I feel like Matt Ryan will have a say in that.
Gotcha. All right, moving into our final segment again. Rapid fire. So we're going to take one pick and talk about it, bounce everything off our head. Got a couple of things. We pull out this sheet today, and we will talk about potential quarterback moves.
Ooh.
You know, where do you think Tua's going? Me personally, I gotta
back up
see where
somebody?
I gotta see where everyone else goes because I really honestly think that there isn't a starting
All right, well
position
here,
available on all three
let's
teams.
lean
or
this
Tua.
way because for me, there's some different places that I could see some quarterbacks going
Yeah.
that who are going to be available more than likely.
Yeah.
Okay, but also we do need a quarterback. Let's talk about quarterbacks who could move. Let's not speculate on where they're going to go, since right now there's 8 vacancies at head coaching positions across the NFL.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like what head coach comes in is going to, be whether those quarterbacks are going to go anywhere.
Think about it. 25% of the league is without a head coach right now.
It was over 25% before Harbaugh took that Giants job.
Mhm.
9 teams.
Yeah.
9 teams, over a quarter of the NFL without a head coach and changing head coaches in 1 year.
That's just
I mean,
crazy.
that's
a crazy percentage.
that is
stats.
wild to me. And I mean, let's stay on subject with this. I mean, one name we know is going to move, and I mean, I think this will be one of the bigger free agent grabs. I mean, pending maybe if Arizona releases Kyler Murray,
Mhm.
I think he'll be highly sought after on the market.
Who's that?
Malik Willis. Malik Willis is probably going to be the one that's looked at the most
Oh, yeah.
for someone who's
Over at Green Bay. I fear him more than Jordan Love.
I'm gonna give this guy a chance type of thing.
Yep.
So I mean, and you already mentioned Tua. I mean, I expect them to cut him and part ways, but I mean, both with Kyler Murray and Tua, they're both still on their respective teams. I mean, Malik Willis is on a 1-year deal, so he'll still have the chance to re-sign with Green Bay, or he'll have his choice to walk in free agency at the end of the year. So I'll say Malik Willis right now, that's going to be one of the bigger quarterback moves this offseason.
What about Kyler Murray?
I really think it's going to depend on what head coach comes into Arizona and what kind of relationship or communication they initially have on whether, maybe Kyler Murray does stick around. But the way
I don't know. I think Kyler Murray has
the way,
worn out his stay and welcome in Arizona.
I
think
believe
he's
so.
better
I
off
mean,
parting
listen.
ways and trying a different team. Now I don't know what that team looks like, where he goes, because I definitely don't think he goes. I mean, there's not very many options out there.
Well, yeah, I agree with you.
Maybe
You could look at teams looking to make a change.
You're looking Raiders are probably going to go.
Or someone
Mendoza.
who's looking to bridge someone. And I mean, with Kyler Murray, I think he's more than likely out. You turn around and you kind of give up on your teammates.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. You could have played. They officially benched you.
I mean, 3 years ago,
I
you could have
think
gone to
that-
practice, but you were too busy playing Xbox games.
Yeah, I mean,
You were
so
too busy playing Battlefield.
there's issues there, so I can agree with you with him having his welcome worn out.
Yeah, I just
Tua, I don't know how many more times he could get hit.
I feel like
So,
if
I
he
mean-
takes one more concussion, he's out. He might as well just retire or be a backup somewhere. I mean, they'll take him as a backup
And I mean,
somewhere.
I'm not going to dive too deep into this right now because we got plenty of off season coming up here in a few weeks. But I mean, what if we get a blockbuster this off season? A Joe Burrow somewhere, or what if the new head coach? What if Lamar Jackson don't like the new head coach? Even though they said he's been advised of who the team's hiring. What if Lamar Jackson? I mean, I'm just saying that these
Lot
are
of
just
what ifs.
speculative.
Lot
There's
of
a
ifs.
what ifs.
Lot of what ifs.
Let's like I said, we'll hear more about that and get more into that in the off season. We'll know a lot more once all these coaching vacancies are filled as well.
Yeah, and stay tuned next week for more recaps of this week's upcoming games and maybe a divisional championship matchup and conference NFC conference, AFC conference matchups, and let's see what that plays up.
And I'm gonna hit it one time with "Let's go, Hoosiers!"
Hoosiers, yeah. Yep, and that's right. And that's a wrap for Fourth and Loud. I'm Action Jackson. That's Lispy Lou. We're covering everything Bears, NFL, and everything the lead does. We're going to come back loud, more stronger than ever next week. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And remember, Bear